there is a real dilemma in civil-military relations that we've seen in places like Mexico, in places like Colombia, in terms of which forces should be doing what. And so those kinds of things need to be clarified. But I also want to take it back to one last thing, John, is because we're going to keep on talking about the Bukeles and the Venezuela Maduro government, but we still haven't talked about the fact that fentanyl is what's causing U.S. overdoses, not Caribbean cocaine routes.
What the military adds is vastly superior intelligence, surveillance, and interdiction. Rather than spending all of our wonderful internet intelligence assets on tracking some guy in a moped in Kabul, we can now use it for this. What's wrong with that? Second of all, there's the question of interdiction, kinetic interdiction. These are not suspects. They're not suspects. No, these are not. This is not a bank robber in Fifth Avenue in New York City. And you can frame it that way, but there's a lot of Americans who would say, this is a war. It's not a metaphor. And in terms of fentanyl, I think Venezuela is not the one and done campaign for, I can't speak for this administration, but I think it's a lot broader than that.
So I could ask, what separates them from suspects?
Well, what separates bin Laden from a suspect?
Well, in that case, Al-Qaeda had attacked the U.S. 3,000 people had died in an armed attack.
You don't think fentanyl is attacking,
poisoning Americans? And the guys on the Caribbean boats where none of the fentanyl is passing through to the U.S.?
And they were released. Some of them the survivors were released.
Our buddies in Ecuador couldn't find enough evidence to convict them.
Poisoning the American people, poison's a weapon, just like an AK-47
So is there fentanyl passing through Venezuela or the Caribbean to the U.S.?
No, but to our allies,
and that's where they were killed.
I'm sorry, but fentanyl is not the only drug killing Americans. I don't know why we're only talking about, like, we can only focus on fentanyl.
Is cocaine killing Americans?
Oh yes, it's certainly, and much of it is laced with fentanyl as well, and other drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, well then we gotta.
If I could finish. Part of the issue here is that you guys are treating fentanyl as if it's this island within narco trafficking threats. It's integrally connected into the cocaine trafficking and the illicit networks that have supported the destabilization and the growth of the cartels and drug trafficking from South America to the U.S. The cartels in Mexico a decade ago hardly had any involvement a decade and a half ago, hardly had any involvement in fentanyl. Why is fentanyl all of a sudden flooding the United States? Because the cocaine trafficking networks were so well developed that it was a plug and play